By now, you've probably seen the headlines. H5N1 avian flu spreads across the U.S., dairy cattle infected in multiple U.S. states, over 70 human cases reported globally, including a confirmed death here in the U.S. It's everywhere. And if you're feeling a mix of concern, confusion, maybe even a little deja vu, you are not alone. But before we panic or blindly follow every headline, let's pause and take a breath, because if we've learned anything from the last few years, it is this: fear is powerful, and so is silence. We owe it to ourselves to stay informed, but not manipulated. Welcome to Flip the Script. I'm Dr. Lee, and today we are going to be unpacking the growing concerns around H5N1 avian influenza and why we need to approach this moment with both caution and clarity. Let's talk about what's happening. What's the difference this time, and why it's so important that we don't blindly repeat the same mistakes that we made at the start of COVID? H5N1, or bird flu, it's not new. But what is new is how it's spreading beyond birds. We are seeing infections not just in poultry, but now in dairy cattle across 17 U.S. states, with nearly 60 herds under quarantine in Idaho alone. We're seeing it in mammals like cats, skunks, foxes, even goats have tested positive. And there have been over 70 human cases documented globally, including, like I mentioned earlier, one death here in the U.S. Experts are raising alarms because of viruses that jump from animals to humans, what we call zoonotic diseases, create more chances for mutations. And every new host that the virus enters is another opportunity for change. But here's the important thing. So far, no confirmed human-to-human transmission has occurred, and that matters. Some scientists are comparing this moment to the early days of COVID, and I can understand why. We have a virus that's crossing species. There's gaps in testing and data sharing. We've got a public health system that's scrambling to keep up. But here's what we need to remember. We've been here before, and now we have hindsight. We now know how fear can spread faster than facts, and we see how quickly questions can get shut down. We've watched science become politicized and debates be labeled as dangerous. And we cannot afford to make those mistakes again. We cannot go into this blindly or assume that every headline equals the full truth. Does this mean that a pandemic is inevitable? No, but it is a reminder of how fragile these systems can be. Just think about it. We've got a virus that's already adapted to infect multiple species. Veterinarians suspect milking equipment might be helping it spread from cow to cow. And some human infections with no known animal contact have occurred, which suggests that the virus might be finding new ways to mutate. That's why experts are calling for more testing, better surveillance, and stronger biosecurity on farms. All of that is necessary, but alongside preparation, we also need discernment. More testing, that's great. More tracking, also good. But panic, not helpful. Blind compliance without critical thinking is dangerous. During COVID, we watched how quickly narratives can shift, how quickly debates can be silenced, and how policies were pushed before the data was there to help support it. We owe it to ourselves, to our families, and to our communities to approach this moment differently. It's possible to stay cautious without being fearful. It's possible to follow good advice without abandoning critical thinking. And it's possible to care for others' well-being without blindly following every directive. And at the end of the day, I believe that we are called to walk in wisdom, being vigilant, thoughtful, and protective of others, without letting fear and pressure override truth and reason. So what's actually helpful right now? Stay informed from reliable science-based sources, not just clickbait headlines. If you work with animals or on a farm, follow good hygiene and safety practices. Keep an eye on official advisories about food safety, but don't panic about milk or poultry. Speak up for transparency, accountability, and open dialogue in public health decisions. And perhaps, most importantly, let's not follow along without thinking. Let's not trade critical thinking for convenience or wisdom for fear. We can choose to be informed without being overwhelmed. We can be cautious without being controlled. And we can be protective without being paralyzed. If this video gave you something to think about, make sure you check out my other videos where we break down big health issues with clarity and honesty. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How are you processing this news? What do you wish more people were asking? Thanks for watching Flip the Script. Stay wise, stay curious, and stay grounded.